So we're going to do something just a little bit different for the weekend video here. We're just going to run through and play through all the normal difficulty stratagems that are available. Saturday, I believe let's check here. We do have the access of technology. The 27th. So it'll be the normal stratagems for this. We're just doing normal because I just got done helping my cousin finish up his run through on Absolute to get him the Battle Worn Pauldron. So just wanted something a little bit more laid back where we can shut our brains off and just have fun. So we are going to start off here with the Fall of Atreus. We're going to be using the tactical here. Our battlefield conditions are, as you can see, major challenge. So we'll have an increase of Majoris enemies with a reduction of Minoris, and then combat mastery, which is just a damage increase between melee and range, which will just kind of fluctuate here and there. So we went with the tactical mainly for, as you can see right there, one of our perks that just allows us to do a massive AoE effect, so should make clearing out the Majoris relatively easy. And this is just going to be a private match, so we won't have any teammates other than, of course, the AI. But just something to end the weekend on a more relaxing note here. And we did go with the heavy bolt rifle just because of some of the perks that I have. It will allow headshot damage to stack up pretty easily. So as you can tell, a lot of these Majors are just, they're going to get evaporated. Kind of hoping we wouldn't trigger that just yet. Hoping we still had a little bit of time. I will say though, the Hellspawn, as much as I enjoy having a new enemy, I have kind of found them to be a little annoying, especially when there's a big group of them. Not that they're necessarily hard to counter, but because each one has 3 different potential attack styles that it can do. A lot of times they're coordinated a little bit differently, so it's just super easy to get bogged down. You know, even if you're parrying one correctly, the other one might be swinging just a few seconds off, and that's just enough to kind of get you stuck in that stun lock routine. The executions, though, for the Hell Spawns are worth their addition. We'll grab the Gene Seed, why not? It's not like we have anything else to rank up, but I guess why not? I think this mission's going to be relatively easy. I think the only part that might be a little bit tricky will be final end sequence. Just because we get 2 dreadnoughts during this, it does make the run incredibly easy. hopefully, hopefully we can get a melt-a-bomb here. Just because we do have the perk on that allows us to regenerate our grenades. Just make clearing out the... If we ever do see a really large group of Majoras, allow us to clear that out. Crazy easy. Hopefully everybody's having a good week. Having an even better weekend. Not too much exciting on my end here. This is an average week. Did end up being on call though, so typically it's pretty quiet. I do work in the mental health field though, so sometimes you end up getting calls, but as of late it's felt like everybody's been in a really good spot, not just on my caseload, but I also cover my coworkers whenever we go on call. And there's a total of 11 of us. Let's say we all have about 30 some. So most of the time it does tend to be rather quiet. But we did get a couple calls this week. Nothing too wild. But it does kind of make the week drag on a little bit, because there's always this part of me of, you know, everybody's trying to do their part of keeping you in the loop if there is a potential emergency with someone. And I just always, well, I shouldn't say always, but there are just times where it's like, oh, hey, sounds like this person's going through something pretty rough. Probably get a call, and I know what that means whenever I'm going to bed. I'm always just waiting to hear my phone go off, and it ends up keeping me awake for longer than I expected. But thankfully we have enough staff we can just rotate every 3 days, unless of course you volunteer for more, which sometimes I do just because it's easy money. Why not? It looks like our buddy here, he might be having his own crisis. He's not sure. Oh, there he goes. He figured it out. But yeah, it can make for a little bit of a longer week, because I want to say Thursday did end up having to respond up to our hospital. And just kind of chilled out up there for about 4 hours. Thankfully, I mean, we really only have to respond up there if it's like an involuntary placement, which is what it is. Which, as you could imagine, most times people are not exactly thrilled for the state that I particularly live in, because I know it can fluctuate from state to state. If it's an involuntary warrant, the police are the ones that have to respond to that and transport those individuals up to the hospital. So, understandably, people can be a little upset, you know, whenever it's, I think that person would have would have been picked up at around like 8:30. You know, I get it. I wouldn't exactly be the happiest of campers if I was getting ready to go to bed and all of a sudden I'm getting a knock on my door and being told I have to go hang up at the hospital for a while. But they already kind of got that out of their system by the time I got there, so it was more just kind of sitting around waiting. Which that is one of the benefits, though, of you do have to go up at nighttime. A lot of times people are just like, I just want to go to bed. Just gonna sleep my way through this, which me is totally fine. As long as they're feeling happy, they don't have any questions, they want to go to bed, I'm not gonna keep them awake. So I don't know how much use the AI was actually going to get out of that, but switch over to the combi melta here, which I've really been enjoying. I think so far it's my favorite heroic weapon. And there's that melta bomb we've been looking for.
I do not recognize these symbols. They carved by ancient men. Yes, we will not keep Lieutenant Titus waiting.
Kind of hoping we would get the hell root right there, just for something a little bit different. I feel like I've just constantly been fighting it of late at the very last potential spawn point. I guess we will fight this here, just because there is a potential for the hell brute to spawn up there. Especially with it being a massive wave. Kind of hoping our perk would be back right there. Should be up here soon. There we go. Oh, it only clipped one of them. Bizarre, because he looked like he was a little bit closer. Or, yeah, closer. Of course it would hit him if he was closer. Further. But yeah, really, other than that, not too exciting week. We did get to go shooting, though, today with a couple of my buddies. So we all had some various different rifles we wanted to sight in. Well, they did. Mine was already pretty much on the money. But we wanted to do a little bit more shooting at kind of some further distances than what we... Kind of figured that melted bomb would have been too close. Well, that is what it is. But oh well. I'd care more if I actually had something to rank up, but it's not like a gene seed anyways. That was just my dumbness. but mostly we've been into a lot of 300 blackout of late, so been doing a lot more shooting at like closer in distances that just kind of favor our particular setups. So I personally myself have a Q Honey Badger, and then I think two of my friends, they have, is it maybe Palmetto State, I want to say. We're gonna try this melt-a-bomb here again and not kill ourselves, but we'll get kicked in the face. But they have, yeah, I want to say Palmetto State Armory, and then another buddy of mine just picked up a Noveski, so we got to shoot some of them past couple of weeks, or my one friend who has the Noveski, we've been shooting a lot of 300 blackout, but today we were trying to shoot it. I don't want to say extended ranges because it was really out to 200, I think was the top that we could do. Just the range that we're at. It does go out to 300, but unfortunately the 300-yard target is kind of obscured. So it does make it a little bit more challenging to shoot at those distances, even if you have the optics. For our 200 one, though, we just took like a really, well, it's kind of like macaroni artwork that I made, and we set that out at 200, so I would say it was maybe a 6x3 target, 6 inches that is, so nothing too big, but we're able to land a fair bit of shots. Unfortunately, though, the ammo that I had mine particularly zeroed for, I'd run out of that, so I had to switch over to a different brand. And for those of you that do shooting, sometimes I can throw off your zero and turn your hold, so I had to figure that out on the fly. Overall, though, I mean, it's a nice way to start the weekend here. But the rifle that I brought it today was, because I only just took one, was an 18-inch. It's kind of a Frankenstein. It's 1 7 twist in 223 wild. 18-inch barrel, and then I just have a fixed 5x optic on it, just because the particular state that I live in this area, there are definitely some, like, I guess open field conditions you could call it, where you can really reach out and stretch the old legs if you wanted to, but a lot of times there's a lot more forest around, so if you're like out in the woods hunting or something like that, most of the time your shots, it's going to be very rare that you're really shooting past 100, so that's why I went with a fixed 5x, but was able, though, to take that particular rifle out and do some actual distance shooting up to, I want to say, 1,000. Now, I will say the target I was shooting at for that was essentially the same profile as, like, I want to say it was a bear. So it was, or a like a grizzly. So something that was pretty big. And granted, with 5.56 and all that, especially, I want to say I was shooting only 55 grain. Not exactly the best for long distance, but thankfully, one of the guys who I was there with at that point actually competes in long distance shooting, so he was really able to help me walk that in. The optic, though, that I have, it's from Primary Arms, and they I imagine they still do because it was pretty popular. I want to say it was the ACSS reticule, but phenomenal reticule if you're not. Super good at like long range shooting to at least kind of help you walk your shots out. There's that Hellbrute. That's what I just don't get sometimes, is how sometimes it'll stun lock him and then other times it won't. Rolled right into his hammer there, unfortunate. Last night, this ended up being one of the operations I had to help my cousin finish up. I think he was helping me initially help someone else out to get the battle-worn pauldron, and yeah, we ended up missing Operations 5, so this, and then Ballistic Engine 6. So we ended up having to go back and redo them. And I forgot that, so when you're running Absolute, they have tweaked it to make it a little bit more of a challenge, which is kind of nice. It's still really fun, and I think as long as you're good enough, it's still a fair challenge. We never lost, and I want to say, just because he doesn't play as often as I do, he went down like twice, that was it. But that was, I mean, our stat line and everything, and our runs were extremely smooth. But I had forgotten that they added the effect of you could potentially get two terminusing. Sorry there. Shutting. You get like 2 terminus spawns. We had actually gotten both of ours pretty much at this exact same point. So as soon as we grabbed the fusion battery there, we had the first come in, and then as soon as we walked it up to that little control area right here, the second one came right in. Definitely, though, not my best performance. Actually, weirdly enough, when we were playing that last night, doing better. Maybe that's just because we got AI bots with us, and you know, they're trying. That was just my dumbness for getting hit by that. I thought I was far enough away. That would just kind of go harmlessly right in front of us. But I think so far from what I've seen from the operations that are available today, at least for the stratagems, this is probably going to be the roughest. No, there will be decapitation next, and then I think we're just going to end it with obelisk, which is still by far my personal least favorite operation.
Lock target.
Overall, really easy run. We would have
The Atreus is
had the
ready to
gene
taste
seed
the
had I
vengeance
not
once more.
tried to suicide bomb myself there. Yes, we did. Yeah. Kind of wasn't also paying really a whole lot of attention to where the armory data was. I think I checked one spot. And that was it. So next we'll go on to decapitation. Can't remember what the modifiers are for that offhand. All I know is that there's at least none that penalize us with using a class. Oof. Really hurt ourselves there with that. That melted put a hell of a lot of damage on us. Alright, so we'll just change up classes here. Yeah, we'll just go right for assault. I've actually been enjoying assault a fair bit. So as you can see, we have knocked out the weekly ones, and maybe later tonight, if some of my other buddies hop on, maybe we'll run the hard stratagems. Just that way I can benefit from the points, and they can benefit from the XP, so we both win. But I just figure I'd run these ones, at least by myself. That way, if we do decide to run those ones, I'm not, you know, just running through them again and not getting anything of benefit. It looked like what? It was just, there was a mission timer, and then for the Emperor, giving you a little bit of a damage bonus.
An inglorious death for an ignoble alien overlord.
We're hitting everywhere, but we're trying to hit. There we go. Nobody out front for us to play with today. I love a lot of people really love the Inferno operation, but I think Decapitation is always going to be my personal favorite.
The air is thick with unnatural energies. Be they psychic or xenos in nature, I cannot say.
No GNC down there. And no armory data. Those vines are easily the most annoying thing. Well, no. Spore mines exist, so I can't say they're the most annoying. They're up there.
This soil shall bear the corpse of a high tyrant.
It looks like our sniper was back there just riding the struggle bus. And that one knocked right in front of him and just would not hit it.
Bless this detonator.
Making that to hold on to.
Rain cleansing fire.
You just grab the crack grenades. There we go.
Explosive offering prepared. Bless this detonator. Trap is set.
Can't tell if the other one's above us or below us. Can hear him though. He's somewhere over there. You know what? While we're here. Man's over there having a panic attack. He's hitting a stanky leg right in the middle of the floor. Where he was. Before he just decided to despawn.
We were not expecting such illustrious company in the rear. Hammered right now.
The beast that commands the swarm will arrive here soon. It is already done, guardsman.
Understood, my lord. May the Emperor... Made off. They're making another...
I've always found, just to kind of throw out, that a lot of times the Majors will spawn in over here.
frag in there. Guards over the wall.
They're over the walls. Let us punish them. I will pluck them from the battlements and send them sprawling back in the dust.
Bayonets! They're on us! We're in point-blank range.
I think I just heard a big boy back here. Somewhere. Yep, there he is.
Such a... Xenos this close. I've never seen such an atrocity.
Those away.
The rivets have breached.
We have given the infernal Xenos a fitting burial.
Our tactics.
I don't even know why, but it just feels like, granted, I have nothing to do with
It will be done.
the armory data anymore. But it feels like I'm naked if I don't at least make an effort to grab it.
Shifting down there.
No gene seeds spawned back there, so I believe then it's really just up here.
precision in our pursuit.
There we go. Finally, the AI is doing something good.
Pay no heed to its lurking shadow. We are the hunters. The vile Xenos slinks through the shadows. It will not escape judgment.
Lost the signal. Is that thing leading us to the dead zone? Our duty remains.
We'll throw out too. One thing I've noticed is the snipers at times seem to be holding their shots a lot more.
The foolish beast thinks it will escape above ground, but it will not evade my reach.
Like, there are just a lot of times where it feels like once you have the timing down, you should know when they're about to pop the shot. But for whatever reason, it seems to be a lot more common now where there's just moments where they'll hold on to it. And after you dodge for when the shot should have gone off, they'll then pop it at you. We'll put our glove on here to give this beast a little, let's say colonoscopy, but prostate exam. There we go. And we got about 20 minutes in the bank, so hopefully we're able to do that before this. Well, we would have had that perfect, but we're just getting a little too greedy with the old power fist. Which I'm starting to warm up to it. I mean, like, the Thunder Hammer to me it's good. But at times it can just feel a little boring to play with. But there's just something about the power fist combos that it's definitely a good weapon and can just unleash a fury. But to me, it's just the timing of it that I'm just not the craziest about. Plus, I think to get the most use out of it, I'd have to throw on the one perk for where when you're charging attacks, you can't be knocked down or knocked back, anything like that. I don't have it on. It's an overall good run, other than just getting a little greedy there at the last minute. And we'll swap classes again, why not? We'll just make sure to throw back on the Thunder Hammer and yeah, we'll show the White Scar some love here for the last one. Didn't even bother to read what it was. Oh, it's Vortex. Okay, never mind. For some reason yeah, my bad. I messed that one up. I thought it was Obelisk. I must have been looking too far down. That's okay. So I think this actually should give me, I'm correct, should give me the ordeal for completing this. All 10 times. Yes.
All I need is a weapon in my hands and my squad at my back. The Emperor sees. Targeting Imperial communications. These heretics seek to isolate us.
Not sure how we messed that up so bad. Oh well, we are running Vanguard, so it's not like that's the worst thing that could happen to us. Actually, kind of weird. Felt like my gun was jamming up a little bit there. We'll just chalk that up to getting a little too cocky in that with the Hive Tyrant. That's what I mean about their attack patterns, is just seems like they can be so over the place. Granted, a lot of that was my fault. I was gun striking when I shouldn't have been, but also just feels that there's actually a rather large number of Majoras on this. It doesn't say anything about it. Zed, hear that extremist firing off. That was just my bad. I was just playing that really stupid. Going in for the parry way too early. Probably a good thing that we picked Vanguard then. Not that we're doing terrible, it's just a lot of really small, simple mistakes that are just kind of compounding. That one, I know I hit the parry perfectly for that, so I don't know what to say for that shit. Oh well.
The heretic bastards left the trail into the sublevels.
The traitors
This whole place bears the stench of corruption. Eyes on a cycle. I'm not a friendly one. It has to die.
You will never leave this.
From a design perspective, though, this is still, I think, my favorite operation.
I see, champion.
Also, just because too, it does take you down like some different paths. It's not the same every single time you play it. Oh, that was.
That is what this is.
Oh, the changer of ways. Grant us influence of retribution. Answers.
Break the cycle shrine. Shove him off the cliff. that psyker!
Do not fear the changer of
You just love that little bit of panic they hit. Before you walk up and just cave their whole skull in.
Tricks will not save you.
shall escape the insatiable war of transformation.
Reminds me though that one, I don't know if it was like a TikTok or what, but it was of this little kid in that who's been overhearing his parents doing some stuff and confronting his mom during breakfast about some of the noises. Just every time I hear that, that's the video that I think of.
Emerge, discordant one, and remake this realm in the name of the dark gods.
Sounds like we have plenty more heretics to purge. We cannot kill that twisted psyker from here.
Need only power cells to reach our enemy.
Oh, I didn't want to do that. I realized he was... No. Yeah, I didn't realize that when I latched onto it had already been incapacitated. Oh well. On that.
Here is a power cell. Replacing the power cell. Let us find some power cells.
Or Assault and Tactical need to start pulling their fucking weight.
Power cell found. the generator. We need that bridge to get on with the killing. The power cell is in hand.
I think this should be our massive wave. Nope. Okay. Felt like we were due for a massive wave.
The bridge has power. Make a path and engage the actual pack. Now is our chance. Purge that traitorous filth. Kill the psychic.
They're making us work for this one, that's for damn sure. And why not? We'll at least use all three classes. Even though I'm not really crazy on this combat axe.
The path to the enemy has shifted. Now we are above the damn thing. Purge that atrocity. Ramp up the pressure. that does to some infernal realm. Nothing shall stay my wrath when I find it. That light should be a way out of this nightmare. The beast will die to presume it can travel. Dismember the bloody thing! Rip its tentacles apart! Tentacles down! Just the demonic bastard with everything we have! Watch out! More flame incoming! Creature is protecting itself. Save your ammunition. Will this grotesquerie never end?
I think at bare minimum, despite maybe how not so great this is going, at least we kind of got a little bit better of an idea on its attack patterns, which for me, I'm counting that as a win. Would have been so much better with actual humans, but you know what? We got through it,
Done, brothers.
figured it out, and we had fun. That's all that matters. But I think that's gonna be it for now. This boy needs a lasagna, and we got a bearded dragon that's disappeared somewhere down here. That we gotta find and get her upstairs, because I'm sure she's also looking forward to some dinner. But as always, thank you for watching, and we will catch you next time.